Welcome back, all my 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ here at Tim's Nation. Today we're going to take a break from all the Necron talk, and I want to talk to you about Grey Knights. Grey Knights were one of my babies going into this game long ago. Probably one of the armies that I had that hold the deepest place in my heart, because at a point when I was a much poor boy playing this game, Grey Knights were an army that was the army I played. I was able to pick up some Marines, hack slash, and convert them over, which now is giving me a really unique look to my Grey Knight army, where my regular Space Marines look like Grey Knights. And my Grey Knight Marines that are the Grey Knight body can be used as purifiers or other squad. We don't have a lot of unique kits. One kit ends up making like 4 units out of our army. So having some way to get some unique army units into this army is really always a plus. And that was the way I was able to find to do it, which worked out very well. I got a bunch of regular Space Marines that I converted over into Grey Knight Strike Marines, and then able to use the Grey Knight Strike Marine boxes for, again, Purifiers, Purge, etc. My Interceptors are converted from Sanguinary Guard because, man, I love that model. Anyone who's ever seen a Sanguinary Guard model with the way the armor plates on everything, on the chest plates and the leg plates, they look so nice. So I converted a bunch of those guys over into Interceptors. Aside from all that, though, that's not what we're talking about. What we're going to talk about is the last army I played and how it didn't pan out as well, and what I'm looking at for the next army, and as well, look for some support in the comments section for what you guys think as well with this list could help give me some more of an edge with what I'm trying to do. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. Turn on that bell for notifications. Like, share, and comment down below. Your guys' comments help me to decide on videos to make in the future. And just to let everyone know, I have read the comments about hearing more about 1,000-point games, and I am currently researching that because 1,000-point and 2,000-point are very different. You know, it's a whole different game. Less objectives, smaller board, and everything like that. And I want to make sure that I'm not just giving you some slap together, oh, here, run this, try that. I actually want to give you the time for it. So I've been reading into it a lot and trying to get some information, and hopefully by early this month, I should be able to put some 1,000-point information out here for you guys to help you build some armies and help you see, especially for new players coming into it who aren't going and rushing out to buy a 2,000-point army, which I can't blame you, especially with 10th edition looming. There's a lot of unknowns going on. So with that being said, let's start talking about these Grey Knights. So I ran the list with Grey Knights where I ran basically what we had seen for most of 9th edition, which was Dread Knights and Interceptors. And I thought this was it. This is going to be the bee's knees, and this is going to make it all happen. And going into my first game against Tyranids, it did. I was able to push through onto Tyranids, really slam the points through and just make everything happen. And then I faced off against Salamanders. And it went poorly, very poorly. As Zach Place said, I was turned into silver bars to be given to the less fortunate very quickly. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that my army was basing too much around the psychic powers. And when something went wrong, something went wrong. So that kind of put me in a rough position to not be able to maintain board presence like I wanted to, because I would not eliminate certain units. I was leaving units alive, whether it was interceptors in a corner or guys in the middle of the field. I was leaving units alive, not scoring teleport strike, as well as leaving threats to be able to come back and take me out without him having to over-dedicate. So I was losing that battle of attrition, which is really bad to lose with Grey Knights, especially with how small the army is. So that kind of made me take a step back and go, well, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. And that's where I come here today with the next version of my Grey Knights list. So to start things off, I'm going completely infantry. Took all the Dread Knights are out of the list. I'm going 100% infantry. The secondaries I'm going to be playing off of are still going to be Teleport Strike, Purifying Ritual, and Raise the Banners. So the way I'm looking at raising the banners and Purifying Ritual is, as long as I can hold 2 objectives and continuously do the the banner and put down ritual, I score 10 points on those two secondaries for the end of the game. So that's one of the parts I like about it. It's very uninteractive and allows me to score a teleport strike on my leisure. So what am I going to use to do this? Well, for starters, I'm going to take two 10-man squads of Grey Knight Terminators. Terminators have the Hammerhand psychic power that they start with, as well as the fact that they're objective secured. 3 wounds apiece with a 2-up, 5-up. Some of the stratagems that I have access to would be 2 CP for the Nemesis Warding Stave to be able to put them on a 4-up invuln. I will have Sanctuary in the army on Drago, as well as I do have a Grey Knight Librarian in there as well, but he's for mortal wound and damage output. But I do have Sanctuary at aspect to give him a 4-up invuln. And they're going to be the anchors that are just going to get on those objectives and hold them. If it's any testament of seeing what Dark Angel Terminators can do, I think Grey Knight Terminators could be right up there in the running with them, being able to have that 4-up invuln, objective secured, and 3 wounds apiece. Now, granted, I don't have some of the wound reduction, the damage reduction that the Dark Angels have, but we still got some tough, mean Terminators with objective secured. Moving on down, I'm still going to keep the 30 Interceptors because I still feel like Interceptors are one of the best units in the Grey Knight Codex. Partially because of their 12-inch move. They also have the ability with a psychic power to be able to shoot and then move again, which is their own individual psychic power. And that's a shooting attack in the psychic phase. So if I decide to use Psybolt ammunition on them for their psychic phase, I can then use Psybolt ammunition again in the shooting phase on a different unit to get Psybolt ammunition to work twice in one turn. So they're so good. There's so much versatility there. They're very fast. 2 wounds apiece, 3 attacks apiece, and a weapon that most of them, except for the ones that have the 2-handed weapons, all of the other guys are 2 damage apiece. So those guys they dish out everything that I could possibly want from that squad. Lastly, again, I said Drago, a Librarian, and 2 Apothecaries. I'm going to be running this as a Preservers Brotherhood so that I can get the additional Feel No Pain psychic power because I want to be able to keep these Terminators alive for the entire course of the game. And that's going to be basically it. The Terminators will have a variety of weapons on them, including 2 Psy Cannons. And that's where I'm kind of looking at for this list. What I don't like is I do feel kind of small. I feel like I could break these up a little more. I know that I could combat squad the Terminators, but I'm not 100% sure if that's where exactly I want to go with it. So that's kind of where I'm staying right now with it. Looking for some feedback. I would love to get some responses from people and see what you guys think. Maybe where I can modify the list a little more. I'll try and put some of the list in the comments section so you guys can glance at it a bit, swish it around a bit, take a minute, think about it, and then let me know. See what we can do. As a community, this community is one of the best gaming communities I've ever been a part of, and I'm so glad to be involved in it like I am, that to have this opportunity to be able to sit down and say, hey, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this army? Because not only is this you guys helping me to have a strong, better army, but this is also the army you'll get to watch on video. Because not my next game, but the game following, this will be the army I'm running with Grey Knights. It'll be a chance to see them on the table. So how would you guys like to see this army look and played? Leave comments down below and let me know. Guys, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all again soon.